Insulin costs $3 to make. You are paying $300 for it. And there is a system built deliberately, layer by layer, specifically designed to make sure that price never comes down. Right now, tonight, Americans are rationing their insulin, cutting doses in half, skipping days, calculating whether they can survive until their next paycheck. Some of them don't make it. If you or anyone you love depends on medication to stay alive, this video is about your money and your life. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how a $10 drug became a $300 death sentence and the name of every company profiting from it. Insulin was discovered in 1921. Two scientists, Frederick Banting and Charles Best, spent months in a freezing laboratory developing a drug that could save the lives of diabetic patients who, at that time, had no options. They were simply waiting to die. When Banting and Best finally had it, when they held a working drug in their hands, they made a decision almost no one in the history of medicine has made since. They sold the patent to the University of Toronto for $1. Banting said it himself, "Insulin does not belong to me, it belongs to the world." That was 1923. 100 years later, the drug Frederick Banting gave the world for $1 costs Americans up to $300 per vial. The same vial costs $7 in Canada, $11 in Germany, $8 in Japan. Same drug, same molecule, same formula. 1923. $8 in Japan, $300 in America. So what happened to the drug that was supposed to belong to the world? Here is what nobody explains clearly. The insulin supply chain in America is not designed to deliver medicine. It is designed to extract money. There are 5 players between the factory and your body. Every single one of them takes a cut. Player 1, the manufacturer. Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, and Sanofi. 3 companies that control over 90% of the global insulin supply. Eli Lilly alone made $22 billion in insulin revenue off a product that cost $979 million to manufacture. That profit margin should be illegal. It is not. Player 2, the wholesaler. They move the product, they add their markup. Player 3, the pharmacy benefit manager. This is where it gets dark. PBMs, CVS Caremark, Express Scripts, and Optum Rx are the most powerful middlemen in American healthcare that most Americans have never heard of. They decide which drugs your insurance covers. They are the gatekeepers. And here is how their system works. Manufacturers pay PBMs enormous secret rebates to get their insulin onto insurance-approved drug lists. The higher the list price, the bigger the rebate the manufacturer can pay. So manufacturers raise their prices not to make more money, but to have more room to pay the rebates that keep their drug on the list. One researcher described it this way: the rebate goes up, the price goes up. The rebate goes up, the price goes up. It has been a dance that lasted 20 years. Player 4, the insurance company. They collect the rebate, they negotiate slightly lower prices. The savings almost never reach you. Player 5, the pharmacy. They add their margin. And at the end of this chain, after 5 companies have each taken their cut, you stand at the counter and hand over $300 for a drug that cost $10 to make. A USC study confirmed it. Middlemen now take 53 cents of every dollar spent on insulin, up from 30 cents just 10 years ago. The manufacturers actually make less per vial than before. The middlemen make more, and you pay the same or higher. This is not an accident. This is the business model. Let me tell you what rationing insulin actually means, because this is not theoretical. This is happening in America tonight. 1 in 6 Americans who use insulin ration their doses because of cost. They take less than they need. They stretch a vial that should last 2 weeks into 4. They skip doses and pray. Rationing insulin does not just make you sick, it kills you. When a diabetic person takes insufficient insulin, blood sugar spikes to dangerous levels, organs begin to fail, blood becomes acidic. This is called diabetic ketoacidosis. Without treatment, it is fatal, quickly. Alex Smith was 26 years old. He aged off his parents' insurance. He couldn't afford his insulin. He rationed it. He was found dead in his apartment 3 days later. His insulin was sitting on the counter. He knew what he needed. He just couldn't pay for it. Shane Patrick Boyle started a GoFundMe to cover his insulin while caring for his dying mother. He was $50 short of his goal when he died. $50. These are not statistics. These are people. They did not die because the medicine didn't exist. They did not die because science hadn't found a solution. They died because a pricing system decided their lives were worth less than a profit margin. The insulin that could have kept Alex Smith alive costs less than $10 to manufacture. He died over a $290 markup. Now, here is the part the pharmaceutical companies want you to focus on instead. In 2023, under enormous public pressure, Eli Lilly cut insulin prices by 70%, Novo Nordisk cut by 75%, Sanofi cut by 78%. Headlines celebrated this as a victory. But stop and think. If they can cut prices by 70% today, what does that tell you about the profit margin at $300? If a 70% price cut still leaves the business profitable, what exactly were they charging you for all those years? These companies did not discover a new manufacturing breakthrough. The molecule did not change. The factory did not change. What changed was that public anger finally became more expensive than lowering the price. That is not generosity. That is damage control. And for millions of Americans without proper insurance, the Medicare cap, the price cuts, the assistance programs still don't reach them. The system has too many layers to be fixed by one press release from one company under pressure. Frederick Banting gave insulin to the world for $1. He believed no one should ever profit from keeping a sick person alive. 100 years later, 3 companies control 90% of the supply of the molecule he discovered. They did not invent insulin. They purchased the rights to manufacture it, and they charged Americans more than any other country on Earth. People are rationing insulin tonight in apartments across every state in this country, counting units, counting days, hoping the math works out. For some of them, it won't. And the companies setting those prices know this. Their own data tells them exactly how many customers are rationing, how many cannot pay, how many are one missed paycheck away from a fatal decision. They know. They have always known, and they raised the prices anyway. Frederick Banting sold his patent for $1 because he believed the sick deserved to live, regardless of what they can afford. 100 years later, 3 companies proved him right about everything except the ending. If this made you angry, share it, because the only thing more powerful than this system is the number of people who finally understand how it works. And now, you do.